Benefis Dialysis Services is the largest dialysis program in Montana, with the largest home peritoneal dialysis program and the only home hemodialysis program. Benefis Dialysis serves people in our community who are living with end-stage renal disease. Dialysis has 20 stations and runs 3 shifts of patients on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and 2 shifts of patients on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Each of these patients spends up to 15 hours undergoing treatment at the dialysis unit every week. In 2002, Benefis Dialysis served 67 patients. In 2010, that number was 120, nearly an 80% growth rate. There is no cure for renal failure, and the need for dialysis is not going away. A kidney transplant is one treatment option, but for many people, dialysis is the only treatment option to keep them living.
I'm on dialysis as a result of chemotherapy that did in my kidneys. I have ovarian cancer. I was diagnosed in 2006, and I went in to get my eyes checked and to maybe I thought get an IV of fluid. And when they did the blood tests, my oncologist came out and said, "You're going into the hospital. You have kidney failure." I am having a home hemodialysis treatment, which is different than peritoneal. There are lots of people on home peritoneal, which goes through the abdomen and does overnight what this does. I have to be on hemodialysis because I am not eligible for peritoneal because of my cancer, which also makes me ineligible for a transplant. When I first was diagnosed with end-stage renal failure, I was put on a schedule of going to Great Falls 3 times a week to the Great Falls Benefis Dialysis Center. And during that time, my run was 3.5 hours. Their offering of warm blankets is one of the big perks. warm blankets and caring people. The nurses were wonderful and made up for somewhat for the uncomfortable chairs. My mother and I have gotten pretty comfortable with things, and now it's just kind of a part of our daily routine. It has been so nice just to get up in the morning and I start the machine, and then she comes in, we're ready to go, and I sit and relax, and she takes the stats. On my treatments, someone said, "Boy, I bet you and your mother just visit, and actually we've run out of a lot of things to say." But I will be on dialysis for the rest of my life in one form or another. My kidneys aren't coming back. And that was kind of hard. You know, I kept rooting for them, but they just aren't there for me. So I've got this machine. I would say that right now I am probably in the best possible place for having to have dialysis. It's part of my life. That's the way it is. But to be able to be one of those who can do it at home is truly a blessing.
The first time I was on dialysis was in 1990 when my kidneys failed the first time. I was on dialysis for a little less than a year, and then I was fortunate enough to get a transplant from the University of Washington Hospital in Seattle. And that lasted 11 years.
Well, since Jim started dialysis, we just know that we go to dialysis 3 times a week. We're up at 4:30 in the morning, and that's life, and that's the good thing, because it is life. Without dialysis, we wouldn't have him. With dialysis and the previous transplant that Jim had, he's been able to watch both our sons graduate, go through school and college, things that Jim never thought he would be able to do.
When I first started dialysis, my thought of going to treatments was kind of, I didn't know what to expect, but the staff at dialysis is really outstanding. They make you very comfortable. They make the treatment as easy for you as possible. So this particular dialysis unit I think is very good. I'll be on dialysis till I die because I'm not a candidate for a transplant. So it's just something that, that I know that I'm going to have to go through. And I've accepted it, and so it's not something that I dread anymore. It's something that I know that it's a necessity that's just part of my life.
When he first was told that he would have to have dialysis, we said, we're either going to live with this disease or we're going to die with this disease. And I said, let's choose to live. And so we've been blessed with wonderful friends and family that have helped see us through this, and it's okay. It's okay.
Chronic kidney disease is on the rise. The two most common causes for people to end up on dialysis are diabetes and high blood pressure. So anyone listening that has diabetes or high blood pressure, you need to take care of it, or you can end up with chronic kidney disease. We talk about what patients go through for dialysis. Unless you've actually gone through it, I'm not sure you can really comprehend what they're going through. I had one of my attendings, one of the people that trained me, told me that basically dialysis is like a really crummy part-time job. So for patients that can't get dialysis, they die. There's no nice way to put it. In order to do well as a dialysis patient takes a lot of dedication and hard work. And basically when people are doing that hard work, you'll see them around town and not even realize they're sick or that they're a dialysis patient. There's a lot of things that go into making dialysis a better experience, but there's not really a lot of extra funding for such things. So that's why it's helpful to have fundraisers and to have people donate generously so that we can provide the things that patients need to be more comfortable. With the bare bones, I can do the dialysis and keep people alive, but that doesn't make it a pleasant experience. It doesn't make it comfortable. Nobody wakes up in the morning saying, oh yeah, I get to go to dialysis today. But if we can make it as comfortable as possible, maybe it's not quite so bad to have to go to dialysis.